Despite the name of the channel being Homegrown Hillary, you've never seen any of the things I've grown. Although I'm not really talking about what I've grown today, I wanted to talk about 8 of my favorite ways to get free stuff, including my raspberry bushes. So first, just let me say that I am not here to teach anyone how to do anything unethical or illegal. There are plenty of ways to get free things that are perfectly legal and ethical, and those are the ones we're going to talk about today. Okay? Got it? Good. Number 1, just accept whatever is offered. Last week, I was walking down my street and a very nice old lady in a minivan said, "Hey, do you want a double stroller?" And here I am pushing my 3 children. I said, yes. And I know what you may be thinking. You might be thinking, well, Hillary, if I just accept whatever is offered, my house is going to be full of crap. And to a degree, that might happen. For example, I have a very sweet elderly woman I know, 2 of them actually, who just give me free stuff all the time. They're like borderline hoarders, and they don't feel comfortable letting go of things unless they know it's going to a good home. But so I am happy to take all of the things they have offered, and I'll tell you why I do that. Because although you may end up with more than what you want, once you start to get a reputation as the acceptor, things will just start falling into your lap. Things you didn't know you needed, or sometimes things you really did know you need, but people didn't think that they wanted to get rid of them unless they knew that someone was going to accept them. It's nice if you know someone to just pass it on and give that a good home, either through a Buy Nothing group or something else. But we're talking about Buy Nothing groups in a minute. 2, keep your eyes open. In college, I was the queen of reading every single flyer because very often those flyers would be advertising lectures, and the lectures offered free lunch. And so who am I to pass up both the opportunity to gain some knowledge and gain a sandwich? I mean, it's a win-win. Keeping your eyes open is also a good rule of thumb when you're walking or driving around your area and you can see things on the side of the road either that say free. I can't tell you how many things I have picked up off the side of the road that said free. Like, I'm not stealing things, people. I've gotten an office organizer, I've gotten kids' toys, furniture, I mean, all just because I was aware of my surroundings and wasn't afraid to safely pull over my car and pick up free things. All right, now I'm gonna talk about the Buy Nothing groups. I mean, you know about Buy Nothing groups already, right? If you don't, let me clue you in. They're groups primarily hosted on Facebook, and they are local, like hyper local to you. If you're in a big city, they're going to be just like your neighborhood. If you live somewhere like I do, it's like 4 of my towns in my area that all have a shared Buy Nothing group. Buy Nothing groups are a fantastic place to get free things. So like recently, I'm working on an article for my website about the cheapest laundry detergent. And I thought, you know, I really don't want to get 10 years worth of laundry detergent just to do this experiment. So I went on the Buy Nothing group and I said, hey people, does anyone have like 1 or 2 loads worth of detergent of their particular brand that you would like to donate to this experiment? And my group delivered. It was insane. I went like to the bank to pick some up, and I went to someone's porch and I picked some up off their porch, and I didn't have to spend, I think I only spent $15 for the entire experiment, which was one of the most interesting frugal experiments I've ever done. So if you want me to make a video on that, in addition to like the article if you read my website, let me know if you want to see the video version of that in the comments. And the primary thing I learned from that particular experiment is like people really want to be helpful. They want to share and give what they have. You're most likely to get some nibbles, to get some bites, if you make it really easy for them to say yes. So if you ask for things that are small, insignificant, things that people are trying to give away anyway that they don't want anymore. Like one time I asked for old sawdust because I needed some for my compost pile. And I had a bunch of people who were like, yeah, I got some, I can't get rid of it, come take it away. And if you need to ask for something bigger, something that's not just a tiny piddly thing, I'll get to that in a second. The next tip is to use some elbow grease. This might mean transporting the item, oh hi Robin, breaking down something really large like a swing set, and then you can take it away from them. Or perhaps it's something bigger, like you'll help someone move, which they need help for, and then anything else that they don't want at the end of packing and that they want to get rid of, you'll just take for free. Next is to make trades and barter. But I mean, you knew this one already, right? Like, hey, I will give you the drop apples from my tree if you come and tutor my kid in math. Like, you know what bartering is. I don't have a great story about that one. I'll have to work on that. Also, really quickly, like, be ready to reciprocate. Like, if you are always the one taking and taking and taking from the people you like or love or just barely know, you're not gonna have much to take after a little while because they're gonna kind of catch on that you're a mooch. All right, if you've read Amy Decision's The Tightwad Gazette, you're gonna know this next one, but be a smart fish. It's her metaphor. She talked about how if you have a company that's dangling a little worm on a hook and they're hoping that you take the whole worm and hook kit and caboodle and they get ya, if you just go around and nibble the worm off that hook, there's nothing unethical about that. They were the ones who offered the worm. You just happen to not take the hook. So for example, in actually the very first video I did on this channel was comparing 4 baby registry freebie boxes. I did the bare minimum necessary to get all 4 of those boxes, and then I showed, you know, the contents inside. Were the companies hoping that by offering me like maybe $30 worth of items that I would then spend thousands of dollars on bottles and bassinets and Bumbos and whatever else babies companies are trying to sell me? Were they hoping that I would spend lots and lots of money? Yes, they were. But there's nothing unethical, in my opinion, about taking offered freebies and not feeling obligated to then buy lots from that company. Or do you disagree? Do you find that unethical? Let me know. And finally, be kind. Kindness goes a long way. Even if you did all the other tips above, forming connections, developing a really tight-knit social group, offering kindness without any expectation of being given in return, that will make you the kind of person who just always seems to get free things. But it's not luck. It's an investment in people. All right, so my hope is that while you were watching this, you identified at least one way that you can go out today and have either the kindness to give, the humility to ask, or the creativity to make something work. I will let the algorithm decide which video it thinks that you would like best. Bye, YouTube.